They told me, they were like, you're just different, which is the adjective that people still, they're like, you're just different. And I'm like, I know. And I always wore it proudly. I was doing exactly what I was built to do. I never felt boxed in. I felt like there's no rules. We can do whatever the F we want to do. It's nice being like a weird little artistic, freaky, weird queen violin playing from Ronkonkoma. I always have all these ideas all the time, and I'm always focused on work. Attention and detail and perfectionism. Just do the work. I'm ADHD. I always describe it like this. Like, each finger is a different idea all the time. If you watch old footage from when I was younger, I was a crazy ADHD, energy-ridden, like crazy kid. I was always climbing on things and doing this and doing that, and I just always remember being like... I grew up on Ronkonkoma on Long Island, Ronkonkoma. I loved my childhood. If I could snap my finger and go back and redo my entire childhood and high school career, I would do it in a heartbeat. Snap my fingers and go back. I have a supportive family. Me and my dad talk every day. My dad is Irish Catholic. He grew up Irish Catholic and Italian. My mother is 100% Norwegian. So I heard Norwegian growing up from my grandfather Thor, which is my middle name Thor, and my last name is Galligan Thorgy. That's where my drag name comes from. You know, I didn't just make it up. And it has nothing to do with orgies. It's just Thorgy. Everyone thinks it does. I'm like, no, I get it, but you know. You know, my good friends now, they make fun of me when I tell them this. I was a competitive swimmer when I was younger, and I was really good. And I had constant bronchitis, and finally a doctor tested me and I was allergic to chlorine. So after that, my parents were like, oh, you can't swim anymore. And I started violin, and that was the only reason that I took violin seriously and music seriously, is because I couldn't swim anymore. I went to Hart School of Music, which was in Connecticut, and I only went there for 1 year, and I transferred to Purchase Conservatory. And that was really where I was like, oh, I'm in the conservatory, but there's a bunch of interesting cats here that are really artistic. And that's when I just would dress up in drag every single day and walk around in drag and throw parties and, you know, throw on costumes, and I learned how to sew, and I was like, this is art, this is arts. I really felt like an artist there. This is where I was like cultivating, experimenting, buying stuff from thrift stores, ripping it apart, tying, like doing weird performances in the street. And it was a very nurturing college for that because it was very small. After Purchase, I moved right into the city because I was like, oh, I need to start working. I played for many freelance orchestras, and I had private students, and I would do this all day, starting at 9 o'clock in the morning. And then at 1 o'clock in the morning, I was in drag making $50 at some club down the block, 8 days a week. I don't know when I slept for 10 years, but it was just inevitable. I just thought, move into Manhattan, move into Brooklyn, and just start working in New York and try and take it over. And I could count on this hand how many queens that I remember started out in Brooklyn, and I was one of them. Now it's, I mean, who isn't doing drag? Working in Brooklyn and New York, I quickly realized that I had a really niche kind of pairing because I was a classically trained instrumentalist, and I was like, oh, I really like this. I don't want to give this up. How to incorporate that was a whole other hurdle because people were like, what? A friend of a friend of a friend said, do you know RuPaul is doing a show? And I went, there. I was like, now it starts. Right away I sent an audition tape, and they said, you didn't make it this season, but you're really interesting. We can't wait to see you next year. So I kept auditioning 8 years in a row, never got on. I booked every girl I saw on that show at my show. I was like, and they would always come back and be like, why aren't you on the show? I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I've been auditioning, tell them, I don't know. So eventually I got on.
Thorgy with a TH and orgy, and I feel incredible.
My name is Thorgy, and I'm 29 years old. I'm 29 years old. Where did that come from? When I went there, my #1 goal, if you go back and look at my runway look for every single episode, it's a completely different color scheme, a completely different makeup scheme, a completely different silhouette. Like, I wanted to show, like, it's art, so have fun.
It's called street meat. No need to yell.
Me, Bob, and Acid did the street meets, and Debbie Harry was there. So we did this like weird group, and I created that look with the triangular pyramid hat thing. I just felt like we were back in New York and Brooklyn, like just hanging out, the three of us, because we're all very smart and very headstrong. We didn't win that challenge. We were like, okay. I literally was like, all right, whatever. We won. We definitely won, but we didn't win, but we definitely won that.
Thorgy Thor, you brought the BK to the RDR, and girl, I ain't go LIE. We loved every minute of it.
There is nothing I would have changed about anything I did. And you know, I got eliminated, and I went home on season 8, and I just got home, and I was just like, I did a good job. I was like really proud of like everything I did on that season. Like, I felt good. I was like, I did that. Season 3 of All Stars, when I went back, I'm like, I have to bring my fiddle. I have to like work this in, you know? Like, this is who I am. Like, I have to show this. Being on television, playing violin in drag for the first time on RuPaul's Drag Race felt, I mean, meant to be comfortable. Fun. I'm good at this. Let's go. If you want to talk about how my life has changed since then, drag is about ideas. I always wanted to incorporate my music, and I did. It was definitely an uphill battle, convincing, you know, some conservative orchestral administration that you should allow somebody from a reality television show to headline playing violin with major symphonic orchestras. Is this a thing? It's never been done before, kind of. I did my first one, Symphony Nova Scotia, and I think there was like 3,000 seats in the theater, and they sold out in like 9 minutes. They called me and they said, I just wanted to talk to you on the phone. We have never had tickets sell this fast. So whatever you're doing it right. So they added a second night, and that sold out as well. Now I'm super nervous for the first show. I got there, we wrote this whole show. It was energetic. As soon as the last standing ovation, I said, this is good. This is important. And I'll never forget, they gave me a lot, and there's some symphonies that gave me a lot of like, ugh, what is this? Some clown in drag. She doesn't belong here. You know, it's like, ugh. After I play that concert, sold out, most of those players come up to me afterwards and go, can I just tell you, that was phenomenal. It was the best show I've ever played in this symphony in my 20 years of playing here. You know, I've done like 50, I think it's around there, but all over the place. You know, San Francisco Symphony, Pittsburgh Symphony Orchestra, Youngstown Symphony Orchestra, Toronto Symphony Orchestra, Charlotte Symphony Orchestra. So, and the list just keeps going on and on and on. I don't have time to sit back and go, wow, you're really here. You really made, it's like, stop, just keep working. I just keep working. It's usually after I'm tightly wound and stressed out, and I do it, and I'm explosive. When I close the door in the dressing room after a symphony orchestra and lots of energy and keep going and work. When I close it and it's quiet, that I go like this. I did that. And I start crying. It's like the first time that I got like a breath. You just did that. You did that. Nobody can take that away from you. Hi. Start Out Awards. They reached out to me and they said, you'd be great energy as a host of the event. It's LGBTQAI++ entrepreneurs. So it's a lot of people that are very successful at businesses, and then they have their proteges or people that want to start businesses. They said, you're gonna bring humor and energy and, you know, all this to, and I went, okay. Sounds good to that. So I'm opening with a little track, and then I have to go right into, that was fun, you're an awesome crowd, 3 reasons, and then I have to find myself a husband. There's a lot of rich, gay entrepreneurs here tonight. or women. I'll marry you. But I'm not signing anything because I want your money. Hey, come on in.
3 years. Did we order wine?
Yes, bring it in. Never say no to wine. Thank you so much. What's your name?
Isabel.
Isabel, I love you. Thank you.
I love you too.
All right, we'll be ready soon. Hi, the other bottle.
Did you order wine?
Yes, we did. Just shut the take it. We'll drink it. I'm so nervous. I've never done this before. What do I do? Oh my God. I love this so much. They were like, we want you to perform. I'm like, let's do a lip sync, like a funny lip sync number. But then also I want to bring a pianist, James, and play, you know, like a piece of music to kind of showcase that. And why don't we do a Pink medley, because I love Pink.
Finally, it's the battle between Monet and Trinity the Tuck, and they are lip syncing to So What by Pink. What do you think of this song?
Love Pink.
Oh God. Oh God.
She is my favorite. We probably can't use it because we can't afford the licensing for Pink music, but I love Pink. Do you know who I love hanging out with? Sister Roma.
Oh, I can't wait to meet her too.
Yeah, Sister Roma is very, very cool.
Ethel and Sister Roma and
Yeah.
Jules Long Beach.
I have this leather belt that I love wearing. It broke apart. And there is an amazing little shoe repair place, and it's a couple that runs it. I always go there whenever I need like shoes fixed or belts or any like leather goods. Perfect.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks a lot. So James Shepard, pianist, is meeting us at the studio today. So in drag, we can film me and James doing some promo for what cities what cities do we need to film?
Definitely Palm Springs. And then the next couple cities, St. Louis, Philadelphia.
So I can throw in some fun look, some colorful look.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Just quick 10-second social media.
Perfect.
We'll burn through them.
Yeah. It's important to let people know when, where, and what's going on.
So you're gonna open the Christmas tour for a weekend.
Then I
switch gears.
Yep.
Go to Canada, do the Symphony.
And then
then
the
back to-
morning after I come, and then we have like 4 dates in St. Louis, Philadelphia, back to Christmas. Yeah. Oh, a lot of projects coming up. Right now we're in Halloween season. So I have a lot of important gigs coming up for Halloween. And then I do the Halloween ball with Bette Midler and Michael Kors, and Robert De Niro is coming this year, and I'm like the red carpet correspondent. This is an important, big New York Foundation gig for the NYRP, the Restoration Project. I'm preparing for this amazing Christmas tour that's coming up. Thorgy Does Christmas with pianist James Shepard, and it's this amazing, just the two of us, cabaret show, and we're doing about 15 cities. Right in the middle of that, I'm playing with the Winnipeg Symphony Orchestra on November 23rd. Now, right? So this is a whole different program of music, a whole different program of costumes that I have to change, and then fly out the next morning at 6 a.m. to go right back to the Christmas program. I'm also playing with the New York Philharmonic, right in the middle of that, whole different program. And also, that's a good gig. So I have to be on top of that, you know what I mean? And be lovely. And then I'm doing a whole other orchestra show with the Rochester Philharmonic in February coming up for Valentine's Day. I've written a complete album that I want to record. I have been saying to myself, get this done. I would love to actually get that done.
After we meet James, we can go through the set list a little bit, go through maybe just like meeting of minds about what cities we're going to, where, talk about, we're gonna book flights and everything, which is gonna be great. And then I can talk to him, we can film some quick promos.
Yes.
That's the whole point of today, so we have to get that done. I know I'm getting that verge of level where I'm like really getting like sick. It's a lot of last minute stuff. Wow, I'm doing this in the darkest moment of this ride. Oh, that helps.
Oh, it's perfect.
Amazing. Do you like my quick dry?
It smells. It smells great. It smells. It smells.
You know what? You need to stop.
You were just talking about feeling sick in the back of a car, and now it's a nail
This is
salon.
helping me feel better.
It's helping you feel nothing.
I know this is probably like the worst thing to be doing possible. Look at how even it is.
Right.
It's not even at all.
We're just gonna run through some stuff, yes?
Oh, we paused there, didn't we? I can't say anything serious, can I?
I always knew that was kind of my responsibility, in some way, to keep orchestral, fascination alive, is to combine maybe young kids who like drag and comedy. And let's combine the worlds.
I like this tempo. Join me and James for Thorgy Does Christmas in Palm Springs, November 15th and 16th at the, what is it called?
Palm Springs Cultural Center.
The Cultural Center. Tickets are here. Bye. Thorgy Does Christmas in St. Louis, November 24th, December 2nd in Boston, December 8th in Nashville, in Schenectady at City Winery. Tickets are available somewhere. Bye.
Mariah Carey moment? I had to joke, I'm sorry.
After Christmas, I'm gonna have a nice time to take a break. If you can get through that, you can do anything. If I'm looking forward in the future of more things that I wanna do, I wanna keep up my string playing. This is important work that I'm doing artistically. This is what I'm built to do, mind, body, and soul. I'm glad I didn't let it go. I'm glad I worked my ass off. And I love that I was suited for this. I took to it very naturally. I like that about I'm very proud of myself that I was like, I can handle this. I was ready for this.
You know where to go for the mecca of gay. It's right here, and you know that's right. So make sure you click to subscribe so you never miss a thing.